All right, all right. Give me 1 second. All right. All right, guys. Bossy Kinuvare. I was fixing something. Okay, I was fixing something before we start the stream. So let me know in the chat if you can hear me. If you can hear me, if you can see my screen, let me know in the chat, please. No, in the chat. Wow, I was explaining. I have to delete all of these things. All right, so I don't know if you watch the breakdowns. Did you watch the breakdown? I don't know if you watched the breakdown for today. So in the breakdown, I told you that my first scenario was to see price moving higher first. Okay, I wanted to see price moving higher first and creating a sell setup inside of this box or higher. And I also talk about the potential two other scenarios that might happen. Well, price might build some liquidity and react at the 50% of the previous daily range, or drop down and manipulate the previous daily low. So as of right now, we can see that the market reacted at the previous daily low. Okay, the market is reacting, okay, from the previous daily low, but also this imbalance on H1 hold price right now. So I don't think that's gonna be a long day, to be honest. So I expect only one thing right now. I can't really short, to be honest. I can't really short right now because we can say the high of the was set, And at the same time, I wanted to see price create another manipulations, since yesterday we did not create any retracement from this big drop movement. So it's hard for me to short right now. So now I'm waiting for price either create an expansion, okay, and to go higher, or create another manipulation, okay, which means we can drop down below this low again to create a manipulation to move to the upside. That's what I'm waiting for today. NQ reacted from the 50%. I just realized that before I start the stream. So the market is reacted from this imbalance too on NQ, and we also reacted from the 50%. That's not what I wanted to see, to be honest, but we're gonna wait. Okay. Oh, the screen is freezing. I'm sorry. All right, now you got it. Sorry. All right. So like I was saying that in the breakdown, I talked about my two primary stuff, which is like come here, drop lower, or move higher, come in this area to drop lower. That was the second and that was the first. But I also talk about a potential retracement lower to go higher, either at the 50% of the previous daily range or anywhere around the discount, okay? Or we might just drop lower and manipulate the previous daily low to go higher. So it's one of these days where I have different scenarios on my, because like I said, I have to follow what price action says. Okay, so basically we had the pre-market low right there. Okay, that's the pre-market low right there. That's from 8 to 9:30. That's an opening of the session. That's the New York Stock open session. Okay, and then that's ES, right? On NQ, the pre-market low is also this low right here. Okay, and then the New York Stock Exchange open, it's this candle right here. So basically I have two things in mind right now. Okay, see price just move to the upside. Okay, after 10 we have like a push or movement to the upside, or the market might create another manipulation. Okay, you remember in the breakdown when I said I don't really trust that manipulation. Okay, I did not trust that manipulation, and I talked about it and I told you, well, we're gonna still consider the market as created manipulation here, but in my opinion, that's not a clean manipulation. We spent too much time below these lows, okay, below this low, and I think we had another. No, we didn't have any other low. We spent too much time right here, so I didn't want to manipulation. Like I said, I want to see price react right away. For example, right here, you know, that's a nice manipulation right here. So now we're gonna wait. Okay, wait to see if price can give us a push to the upside. Okay, and to go lower. I'm not bearish. It's gonna be very hard for me to sell. Like I said, the current high of day is not set. Okay, even though we have this movement right here, but I can't really consider that as high of day. Okay, and at the same time, I expected another manipulation because this retracement is not enough for me to short. Okay, and now if price just drop lower massively, well, that will be just a day at the office and no trade for me. I didn't trade yesterday. You can realize that yesterday I sent a message and I told you guys, well, listen, I don't see price doing too much today. I'm not gonna stream because, well, I could have done like the stream, but to say what, to do what? I have no expectation on price, and I expected price to do whatever, and we basically had whatever. Well, some people bought that, and you had to be very patient to have this, to wait for this movement during the PM session. Okay, you gotta be very like patient to wait until this movement. And some of you got stop loss because your entry was either at this low or this low, which I understand. But yeah, I did not expect too much. I did not expect anything from yesterday. So I just opened the screen and spent 30 minutes in the chart, and then after that I went to bed, bro. And when I woke up, I'm like, oh, okay, that was a stoic decision. That was a wise decision. So let me know if you can see me now. I think everything should be good now. Everything should be good now. So now we are in a bonus context. Because the current high of day is not a target and is not set neither. Okay, so right now, well, we already have some liquidity right here. The market might set new liquidity, or the market might consider these highs as enough for target and to just move to the upside, which is also the daily open, and go grab them. And we're gonna wait. Yeah. So as you can see in the title, we're gonna have a big announcement today. Gonna have a big announcement. So we will do that at the end of the stream. Stay tuned. Okay. Stay tuned. That's right here. Current day high, which is also the high of Asia. All right. So why I put this line? Let me check real quick. Why I put this line? Oh, that's the manipulation. I can delete it. That was the first manipulation right there. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Bonne position matin sur ES, dans session London. Yeah, I remember you told me that you won't be able to trade New York Stock Exchange. Oh, that's fine, bro. Ça me dérange, là. Yeah, I'm sorry to dit que pas de présent New York Stock Exchange. That's good, brother. Well, like I told you recently, the stream, at least 2 times a week, the London session will provide great opportunity. Okay, but anybody that can be present only on the London. Well, you can stay in the London, but it's not as volatile as the New York Stock Exchange. And at some point, you're gonna see the London session create only contractions. You should expect that. Okay, you should expect that. Probably right now they might create some big moves. But probably next month or next quarter, you see like on London you only have manipulate contraction, and the real move happen in the New York Stock Exchange. You know, so. It's a great week so far. I don't have a good record on Friday. Okay, I've been watching my last results for the past months. Friday is not typical the best day. Prediction wise, results wise, and everything. But just gonna keep working on it to see what's going on. Okay. But today we're dropping lower right now, and I expect price to create another manipulation. Taking this low. And after that, probably move to the upside. Let me check the candle on H4. What it looks like right now. So in 6 minutes, we're gonna have the opening of the hourly candle. And we're gonna have the 4-hour candle, the 15 minutes candle, the 15-minute candle, and everything. So we're gonna wait. We are in a bonds context. So in bonds context, you expect price to build more liquidity before creating expansion. Okay, why it's a bonds context? Because we can't really say this high was set, and we can't say it's a target neither. Well, it looks like a manipulation since we have this movement, but I don't trust it. Okay, so now we having some contraction. We're having some contraction. Welcome, Nelson. We're having some contraction right here, but we don't really have a low resistance high. But that's what you expect. That's what you expect in this session. Okay, and the current low of the we need another manipulation, because the current these two lows, in my opinion, they are too close. They are too close. Let's see. Let's see. The coffee is good this morning. So we have some big announcement at the end of the stream. Right before I close the stream, we're gonna hopefully you're gonna like it. Okay. Lock my account. Yes, it's a great decision. If you realize that you have a day in the week and you really do well, just lock your account, or just, I don't know, don't don't try to be an expert. It's not your day. You just move on. But me personally, I want to study more Fridays because I've realized that Friday is a little bit challenging. Your girlfriend made the coffee this morning. No, I made it. No, bro, I made it, man. I made it. I went to the gym at 7 and I got 14,000 steps. 14,000 steps in 595, close to 15,000. And then I hit my breakfast and do the coffee and make the coffee, and then I just taste it now and I'm like, wow, it's good. $66.95, 66.94.5. It's my target on ES. The previous daily high. Yeah, you can consider that. It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. Okay. So now if we just break the London low and massively on H1, for example, or like M15, well, I'm just gonna make the announcement and then I'm gonna close the stream, It's gonna be 10, it's gonna be 11. We have a big drop right now. So in order, if we have 1 minute left, all right, in order to consider that as manipulation, the market has to close above this candle, okay, to make sure that was a manipulation. Because remember, what is a manipulation? It's a fake out, it's a fake movement. Now they adding orders. So now if you really want to see a manipulation, you have to see price reverse right away, create the reversal right away, and then if we can close above these highs or above these candles, the market will use the mitigation principle. What is the mitigation principle? Okay, you know what is the mitigation principle. We talked about that in the channel, right? So they're gonna mitigate their losses before they move to the upside. Okay, so man, the market I really wanted to short this morning. I mean, not this morning, like when I was doing the market breakdown. If you watch the breakdown, I was very hard on selling. I wanted to see price move a little bit higher, either above this high or in this area, because I didn't trust this manipulation. Okay, I said that in the breakdown. This manipulation, I still consider it, because theoretically we have the big movement, but my first scenario was to see price manipulate this high and go lower, and my second one probably a little bit higher than that to go lower. But now we don't create the movement upside first. Which when I activated adjustment, I see, well, I don't really have a great answers for that, bro. Okay, I don't really have a great answers for that. No, I'm gonna be honest with you, all right? I activate my adjustment for the contract because we just have a rollover, and I also pay attention to the real contract to see the price action if they look alike. In my opinion, they look alike. So I just leave them that way. I just leave them that way. I just leave them that way. This market doesn't look bullish at all right now. If we had this movement, bro, if we had just that, I will be the first shorting at the open. I never trade at the open, but I will be the first one. Guys, don't worry. Today, we're not going to respect any rules. We're just going to short. Let's short. Nah, I'm joking. We got to respect our rules. All right? Every day. We got to respect our rules. All right? We put them for a reason. Okay? So now we got the opening of the hourly open right here. So I'm not shorting. I'm not shorting here. You all know. We already know that. I'm not shorting there. I'm not shorting there. And we just have the hourly open. We have some imbalances right there. On M5, we have 1 and 2. Well, if they can invert these two imbalances, that will be your first sign. That will be your first sign to take a trade and to move to the upside and go take the previous day high of 6,697.95, sorry, and to go higher. All right, we expect this type of move when we are in a bonds context. The only thing is we don't have a low resistance high. It could have been better if we had one. Oh, today might be a day that I don't take any trades. Man. Before I went to bed, I did the breakdown and I'm like, the first scenario, the second scenario, I'm gonna dream about them. I think I dream about the first and the second scenario, and the market just dropped without doing the manipulation, man. I wanted to see the manipulation at the high too. I put alarm for any time yesterday night. That's good, brother. Yeah, I mean, I have one too. I have an outlet right here. That's what I really want. That's why you don't have. That's why you can't really put expectation in the market. Yes, you're gonna do your analysis, and I said that in the breakdown. Of course, you're gonna do your analysis, but you can't trying to say like, well, the market has to do what you expect or what you're waiting for. Je te ka di anko, le market lan ba retavo. You can't really do that. Previous daily high is not a target too. Yeah, it's a target. It's a target. These highs, they are close enough for me to consider them as target. They are close enough. Yeah, I think it's still target. All right. And yeah, so the market did not create the first and the second scenario. We just dropped lower. And now we are doing, well, the market trying to showing the least favorite scenario. The scenario that I talked about in the breakdown, just because I know it might happen, but it's not the scenario that I wish we had. So yeah, so if we can create the two inversions we talked about on M5 and we can break above this candle, well, the inversions will be the first sign, and then this candle will really give you a great confirmation. Okay, the best confirmation in my opinion right now is to see price create a big movement to the upside and break above this opening of this candle right there. Okay, and then now that will be open. We drop down first for the session, and then we go lower. The same context we have in the daily, but now it's just for the session. Just trying to just trying to say, all right, this just trying to consider the session as a candle. Let's say the session was a candle, right? And then we have some open, some movement to the downside, and then to do something like this, that will be crispy. Okay, just like you were trading the ETF. Okay, now you are trading the ETF. You got the opening right here, right there, and then no weak candle on 15 minutes. So, and then they drop down first, and then that might be, let's say, we manipulate this low right here, then create that inversion on M5. The two inversions we're talking about, and then to go higher. That would be something very interesting. Because one thing I know, I can't short right here. You know, that's the first thing. Okay, you remember when it was on Monday, on Tuesday, when I was saying I'm not selling on Monday right here. Okay, I told you that I'm not selling. Okay, sometimes it's hard to, like, I mean, not hard, you know, it's just gonna take some times. But when you're a streamer or you're trading live or you do your analysis live, and then people in the chat telling you, like, you know, do this, do that, I'm gonna sell, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, and to keep your composure and hold your idea. Okay, back up your idea. I told you that, guys, I'm not gonna sell that. That's not a movement to short. Well, of course, we dropped down a little bit to create another manipulation, but right after that, they moved to the upside and took our targets, and the next day we just dropped down first and keep moving higher. Okay, and the current high of week, Jesus Christ, the current high of week was predicted in the breakdowns. If you don't watch the breakdowns, I don't know what you're doing, to be honest. If you watch the breakdown, you will understand price action, like, even better than me. Okay, trust me, the breakdowns, they will help you, bro, because most of the time, whatever that happens in the market, it's gonna be one of the scenarios. Okay, it's like you do your analysis. Okay, it's like, okay, let's say when you go to when we were at school, and you're gonna have an exam. Okay, and before the exam, the teacher did like 4 exercise. Okay, and he said one of these exercises might be in the exam. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna analyze all of them, you're gonna study all of them, and then you're gonna see, okay, well, I don't know which one's gonna happen when I wake up, or I don't know which one the professor, the teacher, will give us in the exam, but at least I can do all of them. At least I understand all of them. That's what I do in the breakdowns, and that's why I basically I do them earlier now, because I've realized that when I'm doing the breakdowns at 8, sometimes you don't really have time to watch them. And even me, sometimes I'm trying to I'm rushing a little bit, so I can do it in 2 languages, and I can also post it everywhere. And then after that, to like get ready for my session, and I'm like, bro, I got a final solution, you know? So that's why I only do it in English now, and they are a little bit longer, and you have them overnight. Okay, you're gonna have them around like 11 p.m. or 12 in the morning, you know, and we will discuss about the potential scenarios. Okay, the best ones, the mid one, and the worst scenario. And then we just have to wake up and apply the daily context to find entries. Map simplifie la vi nou la net, oui men. Map simplifie la vi nou la net. And you can realize that what happened yesterday, even the reaction, even the manipulation was not crispy, but we talked about this movement yesterday. We talked about this movement on Wednesday. We talked about this movement, retracement to go higher on Tuesday. And we talked about this movement on Monday. So basically, 4 days straight, the market can't really surprise you, you know, because you expected that. Well, you expected that, you know. That's the goal of the breakdowns, okay? I want you to see that, well, the market is doing the same thing every single day and nothing can surprise you, you know. That doesn't mean you're gonna find opportunity every single day, okay? There is a huge difference. There is a big difference, and I've been saying that for now, I don't know, for my entire life. You're gonna try your best to find an opportunity, but sometimes the market will do exactly what you expected, but don't really give you an entry. Or, well, even sometimes you're gonna have an entry, but not the best risk to reward. And sometimes the market will just do the worst scenario, you know. But at least we expected that. At least you expected that, because I told you, like I told you that. I told you, well, this scenario might happen, and that's going to be the worst scenario. Why it's going to be the worst scenario? Because this scenario won't be in alignment with our strategy. And you need to be a wise man to do that. Okay, you need discipline to do that, to accept that, all right, that might be a great move, that might be all right, I see this potential scenario coming, but that's not what I want to do. Okay, for example, what we see right now, I'm not gonna short below the previous daily low. That's not my strategy, bro. That's the worst scenario. What you want me to do? Trying to catch this low where I'm gonna miss the move? I don't care if the market just did that. I don't care. That's not my strategy. That's not mine. What is my strategy? You all know it. Waiting for manipulation at the high to short. We're probably gonna wait for after manipulation for the retracement when the high is set. We're gonna wait for manipulation at the low to sell at the low is set, and then take a retracement or take an entry. If I don't have it, no trades. It's very simple. It's so simple, guys. it's very simple, guys. And you have a strategy. Is it there? Yes, you take the trade. Is it there? No, no trade, and that's it. And you don't care about what the market doing next. So now you know what's happening. Sometimes you're gonna say, well, coach, je market ap desen nan la, nou ka koui rentre, nou ka koui fon bagay. And over the years, wap vin realize ke li pa rough it koui de comme si sa ki pa nan alignment avec stratégie là. OK? Oui, parfois ça ka piqué go. Man, devle bullish, man. Market lan just drop. Wow. M'sort, m'pa un go trader, m'pa wè sa market la fait. In reality, bro, you just get it wrong today, or the market just doesn't give you your opportunity, and that's it. That's it. It's nothing less, it's nothing more. That's the way it is. So now, est-ce que parfois m'ba foiré? Of course. I'm not perfect, guys, and I've been saying that. Okay, I've been telling you that I'm not that perfect. Okay, I'm not a perfect trader, and I don't think there is a perfect trader. There is just traders that know their strength and their weaknesses and they just move forward. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Libright. Bon, ma pon ko bon fait m'a mette ko bo annonce en bala annonce tale ya parce que go annonce tale pour le fait. Go annonce tale pour le fait. So yeah, guys, I'm not don't when you see me don't see like bro, this trader is perfect. OK? Soumettez ça dans tête ou non illusion totale. OK? Soumettez bro, li bright pas fait aucun erreur, li bright pas contre fait aucune bêtise. Mettez ça dans tête. Actually, I'm gonna trade et puis Lazar dit ou si ou t'as supposé entrer là for real. And then I'm like, damn, you are right, bro. Mais tel bail pas supposé entrer là. That's why you need a trading partner, you know. That's why you need somebody that explain your strategy, that understands your strategy and you understand his too, and we can discuss about, you know, some stuff, you know. And I don't want you to see me as a perfect trader. Yes, I have experience and I can live off trading. And bon l'autre ba encore. Moun pense depuis que ou rentable ou pas gen drawdown, depuis rentable ou pas gen bad week, ou pas gen bad days. Hell nah, au contraire kounya bad days ou c'est peut-être salaire mensuel ou te kon gen ou te kon ap travail. Et là kounya va gen besoin you're gonna need courage, bro, to face that. You're gonna need courage to face that. It's different than when you were trading with just $500 years ago. Now, when you lose money, bro, you'll be like, damn, bro. Well, it's tough, and you're still gonna lose money. That's the thing in trading. But you're gonna win more than losing. That's what you have a strategy. You know, when you win, you make sure that you win big. I'm reading that book, How Successful People Think, and I see everything you've been teaching us about strategies and expectations. Bro, we're so lucky to have you. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. I've read this book too last year. I mean, no, what I'm saying. Wow, yeah, I've read it last year, and I read it in the beginning of this year. Okay, I read it twice or 3 times. In the series, I think it is my favorite one. I've read all of them. How Successful People Think, Grow, Talk. It's 5, but one of the title, it's not All Successful People, it's another one. Today's Matter, Make Today's Count. Okay, but All Successful People Think is my favorite one. And yes, so it's everything in life. When you're working, you have to say, okay, that's the main goal, that's the main plan. But at the same time, you have to think about, well, what's gonna be the worst scenario? And the worst scenario is not to be afraid of it, it's not to be scared, it's not to have fear. But when you already expect the worst scenario, you're gonna manage it better than somebody that's gonna be, wow, I did not expect that. Okay, how many times in life things happen to us and we did not expect that, and we have to take real decisions. Let's say, for example, they said that 80% of people living in America cannot fix a problem of $300 without taking another debt, which means if something happened, something happened and they did not expect it, and in order to solve this problem, they need $300, they have to borrow $300. Just think about that. It's like nobody thinking about the worst scenario. Why? Because we're living in a world of perfection. Everybody thinks they are perfect. Everybody thinks this situation cannot be worse, or yeah, it can be worse. If you don't do anything about it, it can be worse. Yes, it can. You know, we're living day by day and never think about, all right, what might be the worst scenario? And when you sit down and you think about the worst scenario, all right, if the worst scenario happens, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. All right. And even for a plan, you need nice expectations. You need big expectations. This expectation, the outcome might be different than your expectation. So now, how you gonna manage with that? How you gonna fix that? Okay, how you gonna evolve with that? Because you might do your best, but the outcome still not, it's not the what you expected. You know, that's why I read this type of books, because they help me in trading and they help me in life in general. You know. Thank you for changing my life in trading. You're welcome. You're welcome. And at the end of the day, we realize that, well, what's really gonna make us a good trader is not even the strategy, it's the way we think. It's the way we think about ourselves and the way we think about the strategy. You know? It's the way you feel, the way we manage our emotions, you know, the way we react from emotions. So, right now the market is reacted from this imbalance on H1, and we can see that this is a huge candle right there, and I don't see anything bullish right now. Okay, so far the market is not showing any sign of strength, and the market did not create that manipulation. Okay, I gotta be honest, this this movement hurts me a little bit, you know. The manipulation I wanted to see at previous daily high, I didn't have it, so the market just dropped lower. So the market might be so weak that it doesn't have enough power to create a manipulation or enough strength. Okay, so if we can't manipulate that low in reverse, I'm just gonna call it a day, because I'm not shorting right there. Okay, I'm not gonna short right there, you know that. Mi zambo tête moi là, fait tout bagay, fait menace, tout bagay nous connaît net. I'm not shorting right. Like, if I come see my couille the market like, oh, that's a big candle, but I'm cool short. I don't trade like that. I don't do anything like that. So that's not my strategy. Okay. And most of you guys, the reason why you can't pass a challenge or you can't make a withdrawal, you can't do none of that, it's because you don't know your strategy. To be honest, you don't know it. And even some of you, like, you know it, but you want this strategy to give you money every single day. You want this strategy to give you money every single day, and you want to take trades every single day. I didn't trade yesterday. I took a nice short. I took a nice short on this movement. Okay. I took a long on this movement right here. I didn't trade that day. Okay. I wanted to long inside of this imbalance, one of this imbalance we had on H1. That's what I talked about in the breakdowns. Okay, the fact that the market break the previous daily high with massive conviction, I didn't see any sell opportunity. Okay, and I said, in order to consider sell opportunity, the market had to break 2 candles, if I'm not mistaken. I remember I talked about that in the stream. I don't really remember, but the fact that the market takes, oh, I was talking about the New York Stock Exchange Open, which was, oh, it was again. Yeah, I remember. So I was live with you and I told you, yes, break the New York Stock Exchange, but one of them did not, I guess. Yeah, one of them never. All right, NQ never break the New York Stock Exchange, and I told you, well, this market is not weak. I will probably consider a short movement if we can break the New York Stock Exchange with high conviction. Well, that was 12 p.m. I was not even in the market anymore. Okay. And remember, I told you if you're taking a short, it's just to create a retracement and then to keep going higher because the market has created imbalances on H1. Okay. And this imbalance hold price to keep going higher, right? That was one of the scenario. That was one of the scenario we expected from this price action, right? And I didn't take any trade. No trade here. I trade there. I trade there. No trade yesterday. And if nothing happened today, that's gonna be a green week. And can't complain, bro. My objective is not to catch every move. It's to catch the best move, the move that is like that looks like my strategy. Okay. And yeah, so that should be your main objective. All right. I have two podcasts that I'm working on. One of them will be about setting goals because I think we have a problem on that. Even though we've read books and everything, but I still think we still don't know how to set goals, okay? How to set objectives, okay? And I have a podcast about how I end the drawdown. I'm gonna say that how I end the drawdown, okay? I'm not saying that's exactly what somebody should do. Oh, well, somebody can take my words as advice, you know, but I have to share my idea on that. So my perspective on that. Young trader H4B, welcome, brother. Welcome to the channel. So, welcome to the paid members, and you're gonna receive the market breakdowns and the market reviews. Okay. And unless it's a Friday, because like I said, my records show that Friday is not typically my best day. And even if I don't trade, even what I see in the market, it's sometimes different. Okay, even like the price action wise expectation, that doesn't mean I'm just gonna shut down Friday. It's just like we're gonna like really pay attention to what we are saying or what we are doing on Friday, you know. So yeah, the past Fridays they were not as productive as the other days. Well, I'm not blaming Friday, okay? That's just data, okay? I'm talking about my data, okay? This Friday we didn't have that much. We don't have enough things. February 20. I remember we trade. Did we trade that? I don't really remember. I'm not gonna remember everything. But my data shows that I have to pay attention on Fridays. Yeah, y'all remember this Friday? We long that, but we suffered. We suffered like crazy. Like before we finally got that move and the market dropped down again. And small day, bro, not big price action. Yeah. And this Friday, we long that, right? Yeah, we long that. We took that trade, the low was set, and then we just keep going higher. We used the opening of the set of the New York of the hourly open to take a retracement right here. But yeah, I mean Fridays, well, sometimes it's gonna be Friday, sometimes it's gonna be Monday. Well, that's why I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm not gonna trade on Friday, because the data might change. Okay, after 6 weeks I might tell you, well guys, now it's Monday. You know, well, now it's Thursday. I'm just reading the data. That's why you have them, and that's why you need data. That's why you have to keep having data to see, okay, which days like you probably are not the best at it, or which days you probably can't really find where the market is going, or your strategy doesn't work, which like what type of environment your strategy like challenge you a little bit. You have to think about all of that. Okay, so it's almost 1 hour. I'm not gonna stay here for long, guys, for a long time. I'm just gonna put some alert, and let me just do the announcement. Okay, Est-ce que nous là? If you're ready for the announcement, drop some 8 in the chat. And of course, m'a dit en anglais tout. M'a dit en anglais tout. M'a dit en anglais tout. So, m'a dit en créole tout. M'a dit en créole tout. Amen, ça dit salut coach, c'est une raison qui fait pas trade vendredi. Ok, yeah, I mean, sometimes vendredi I challenge. Shama. Point. Ah, nous toute la jeudi, yeah. That's good. All right. So last year, we had a giveaway. Okay. And m'étais content de giveaway là. Okay. M'étais content de giveaway là because moun qui dans giveaway c'est moun qui te doué dans giveaway là. Okay. Ça veut dire que pas yon moun dans giveaway là comme si là qui était déjà comme si gen gros moyen ou bien que ta bagay ou bien ça pas rien, vous comprenez? Moi mais là moun joue dans giveaway et puis qu'on y a moun nan diket. OK, m'pa le jouer davantage ça parce que moi, par exemple, très simple. Yon nan moun qui nan giveaway yo, c'est par exemple, j'aime souvent dire nous, pas même yon deux moun là dedans, c'est moun par exemple qui en dehors qui côté qui reculé dans pays hein. Ça veut dire que il y a un petit problème courant, électricité, internet. Mais le peu que yo gagne, si ça a besoin nan, y a font façon voyer des voix quand même. Donc moi aimer laisser moun comme ça qui giveaway. So, m'te dit m'a fait giveaway encore. OK, des dit m'a fait giveaway encore pour une simple raison. OK, because moi recevoir des séries de messages très drôles pour juste un giveaway, but bah c'est ça, m'geta qu'on a haïtien qui janvier, but m'geta passer ça des dom. All right? So now we're gonna have another giveaway. But bah il va différent. We're gonna have another giveaway. Les nous atteint 10 000 subscribers. And qui j'aime participer dans le giveaway là. It's simple. OK? Lem live, ou just faire un petit vidéo ou bien le photo and then ou tag moi sur story Instagram ou tag Libright Academy. OK? Ou ka tag page personnellement tout but c'est Libright Academy pour tag. Comme ça va participer dans le giveaway là. Qui ça n'a pas joué dans le giveaway là? Ma annoncé les nous presque dans 10 000 subscribers. Par contre, depuis jeudi à même, on a commencé à mettre non dans le giveaway là. Ça veut dire depuis jeudi là même, pendant le live là, on a commencé à faire vidéo et puis poster sur story Instagram. Ça va beaucoup finir là non? C'est que après giveaway 10 000 subscribers là. Après giveaway 10 000 subscribers là, nous a fait at least yon giveaway pour moi. OK, on a fait at least yon giveaway pour moi. And j'aime te dire récemment et c'est même comme paid members yo m'a pré utiliser encore like pour give back to the community. OK, ma pas non si ça n'a besoin dans giveaway là. OK, but travail là mais nous connait parce que nous beaucoup à 10 000. Nous à 9 000 et quelques. OK, donc pour nous célébrer 10 000 on a besoin n'a fait giveaway là. Et then après giveaway ça son bail que n'a continuer faire, n'a bien at least yon giveaway pour moi. Oui, cadeau c'est toujours tag moi mais c'est pas moi qui a choisi moun nan. OK, m'a fait j'aime te faire dernièrement m'a just mettez information nous et puis fait le devant nous. M'a fait le devant nous. Okay. So for my English speakers, so I just announced a giveaway. Okay. M'bral fon façon pour m'accepter tout moun tag moi parce que paramètre Instagram moi gen droit gen moun qui pas ka tag moi ou bien gen request m'pa kon wè. C'est après quelques mois m'a pour moun te bon mon request et puis m'a dit beaucoup request ça te. All right. So basically là so m'a fait le même genre m'a just prendre nom et puis me faire devant nous tout le monde. OK. So m'a non fait partie pour. So nous pas besoin écrire. Ouais, m'geta connaît m'pa même quoi moun qui connaît m'pa quoi moun qui connaît écrire mieux c'est moun qui là chaque jour. OK. Nous c'est des séries de moun civilisés. Nous c'est des séries de moun qui classe. Nous moun classe m'gen boy ici hein, moun classe moun senti bon. Parce que et moun qui te qu'on a écrit c'est des séries de moun qui te puis doit faire tomber sur les bright ou bien c'est le giveaway là que te fait reconnaître les bright et puis tout penser que voilà, tu es capable bail par la li bright là pour tu es bon sous lui, mais tu finis par réaliser que bon les bright là va prendre impression comme ça. But tu sais on a fait des mal à faire giveaway because m'a font giveaway moun pas besoin d'écrire faire c'est là. C'est pas tout le monde qui est obligé à faire corruption. Parce que nous corrompus pour nous passer tout le monde corrompu tout non. Okay. So for my English speakers, I just announced a giveaway. Once we reach 10,000 subscribers, I will do a giveaway. So how to participate? It's basically easy. When I'm doing my stream, coming up on mon lumière aujourd'hui. When I'm doing, but I'm still là. When I'm doing the streams, just make a screenshot, make a video, right? Make a video. It doesn't matter if it's like 5 seconds or 10 seconds. And just tag me on your Instagram story. And that's it. So we're gonna have the giveaway when we reach 10,000 subscribers. And after that, we will have at least one giveaway a month. Okay, at least one. My objective is to do a giveaway every Friday. That's my plan. That's my goal. But we are not there yet. That's why I said at least once a month. Okay? At least once a month, we're gonna have a giveaway after the 10,000. Okay? Which means we're gonna have the 10,000 giveaway when we reach 10,000. And then after that, every month, we're gonna have at least one giveaway. And all of the giveaways, I will do exactly the same thing. Put the names here, open the application, the website, and do it. Okay? And most of the time, I don't trade on Friday. So, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. And I told you that the money we have from what is a giveaway? Oh, okay. Yon giveaway c'est quand on fait cadeau. Ok. C'est leur fait cadeau et puis c'est leur fait cadeau. Qui ça on dit non. But qui ça la pied? M'a pas annoncé ça les nous tout proche 10 000 subscribers. And but c'est 10 000 subscribers on apprend plus monde qui l'autre giveaway qui gagne pour faire yo. Ça veut dire que on dit si on atteint 10 000 subscribers là on prend 10 monde, I don't know. And then l'autre giveaway qu'a fait yo on doit prendre 3 ou bien 5 etc. But 10 000 ça 10 000 là gagne plus monde. Okay, so that will be it. Pas bon les commentaires là, mais il m'appeler dans l'écran. Pas aimer les dans l'écran parce que me virer tête moi trop. Et là, écran, là, me lever tête moins trop, là, la gauche, me lever tête moins trop. That's why I'm giving ça là pour me commenter, but parfois, bah, sous ça, parfois, m'oublier. Alright. So, I don't know if I'm gonna stay for too long, or like, I don't know, for more hours or more minutes. It's almost 11. It's almost 11, so. And again, c'est pas moi qui a choisi moun yo, c'est devant nous m'a vinn faire encore, j'aime te faire dernièrement. Okay, like we did it recently. I'm gonna put the names and we're just gonna run the thing and we're gonna have it. Okay. We're gonna run the thing and then we're gonna text the people and Jean-Bar à la virée. Okay. Coach, est-ce qu'on a parti string trading d'information? Yes. Yes. Moi, t'es dormi dehors dans la première après ça, il va passer comme ça. I don't know, man. I don't know. Just fais ça and make sure que nous follow page là tout. Okay, but de tout, je crois que pour repost moi, faut pour tag moi sur story, faut que follow moi. Faut que follow the bright. OK. So, son bagay nous va le faire souvent. Donc, même si dans 10 000 ans, nous pour pas là, on a continué à faire, j'aime dire, on a gagné at least un giveaway par mois. At least one. And then, on a l'autre programme encore, but ça, c'est pour moun qui n'a information. Ok, nous allons parler de li jeudi. On va annoncer le jeudi tout, second quarter. On a commencé avec un autre bagay d'information. Just, like, to grow, be bright. Ok. Et je pense que mon information est content. Parce que mon information est content. OK? Parce que mon information est content. All right? So, it's going to be a program that will help you. OK? Et bien, on va venir avec encore. Nous connaissons. Et pas comme si on va venir avec encore pour nous apprendre, non? OK? Pas comme si on prend un nouveau concept ou bien un nouveau bagage. Non, ça m'a potentiel pour nous. It's gonna be in your advantage. OK. La annonce c'est jeudi, un appel que nous avons pour nous gagner et qui a pas 3 heures. Dans Discord là. OK. All right. So, I don't know. I have nothing else to say. Giovanni, OK. I'm regarder moi si je peux répondre. Coach, tu te dis, what pour mon YouTube, oui? Exactly, bro. I want to do this, bro. It's simple. Mon qui paye YouTube yo, m'te vle yo gen m'te vle mon qui paye YouTube yo pour yo gen accès, pour yo gen at least yon appel avec pour moi. But YouTube pas bon accès pour collecter information. Ça veut dire si m'te ka joine email moun yo or something, la kon ya fòm ta contacter comme si moun yo gen pas gen. Ou bien m'ta fait moun yo contacter. That was the idea. Qui me commencé. Oh, by the way, gon l'autre idée encore. Pas l'autre idée non. Par contre si Jean-Brian là, parce que me noté ça, me songe non. Par contre si Jean-Brian là, so la femme connaît bon. Yeah, so yeah, that was the idea pour moun qui paye YouTube yo pour yo gen at least one month avec. But faut nous songer que appel là en anglais. Parce que gen moun qui c'est en anglais oui. Alright. So for my paid members on YouTube, I have a plan to have one call with you every month. I don't know if that's gonna be one times. I don't know if that's gonna be on Friday or Saturday on Sunday. I have no idea, but it's gonna be most likely on the weekends, and at least one call a month, so we can I can share some ideas, or we can talk about the strategy or what you've learned and everything. Because Puis quand nous pensons parce que nous c'est just YouTube members, nous pas dans formation et que nous pas important pour moi. Alright. Everybody's important. Like même si you just got them là and you are important. Okay? So basically nous kon la à 7 moun, now nous là avec 120 moun and nothing's gonna change. So it's the same love, the same thing, you know. Coach aussi ou pas ba nous tout bagay qui t'a supposé d'information parce que moi ouais tout bagay avec nous sur chaîne YouTube là, nous t'a content pile. A group call, would you ever do a 1-1? Not a 1-1 because I got 70 people now, which means I gotta do 71-1. That's not gonna be easy. That's gonna be a group call for sure. L'amour Wilson, en pile monde souvent pose des questions ça. Like, bro, c'est tellement bye sur YouTube là. Est-ce que moi obligé prendre formation avec? Mande n'importe monde qui n'a formation. Est-ce que vous regrettez le fait que vous avez formation? Mais... Alright. This is what I want. They will just garder themselves pour rentable. Et ça me besoin. Like, pas besoin qu'on ait soit garder gratis. Sur ces paid members. Sur ces élèves moins. Alright. They will garder themselves pour rentable. Regardez, vous n'avez pas besoin de garder. Vous pensez à même seulement pour rentable. Okay, so that's my goal. And baba rien sur YouTube là qui trash, okay? En pile monde c'est ça ou fait. And les gens mon écrit li tout parler comme ça ensemble avec most of the time pas continuer conversation. Okay? Because that 700 videos now, almost 700 contenus sur channel là. Donc m'a fait 700 contenus trash. M'a fait buzz, m'a parler de l'autre monde mal pour m'attirer monde sous moi. Qui ça me fait? M'a parler de market, m'a parler de trading, m'a parler de stratégie. Qui moun a passé challenge chaque semaine? Moun a passé faire retrait chaque semaine, right? So malgré ça, il y a des gens qui sometimes still gain doute. Like, est-ce que sur YouTube, là, il va pas trash ou pas, et puis il va l'information? I don't do that, guys, ok? Je dis nous ça déjà, je pas qu'à faire bagay ça. C'est soit je fais bagay là, li bon, ou bien je pas faire le dit tout. Et bagay m'a fait pas bon. Ok? Bagay m'a fait, si m'a fait bagay là, moi pas bon. Alors, il y a une différence. Je dois faire bagay, je dois qu'on est premier, c'est pas bon, but au fil du temps, ça vient bon. Mais si je connais pas qu'à faire bagay, je pas faire. Ok? Si je connais pas faire, les bi moun pas content, moun pas satisfait, je pas faire. Ok? So, sur YouTube là, je dois qu'on est nous qui en Haïti, qui doit pas gagner assez moyens pour une formation, parce que moi tout, je pas d'accord moun demander me discount, non? Ah, ce besoin me fâche avant, c'est demander me discount, oui. Ah, ça, faut nous connaître. Des millions moun dit mot discount là, c'est même un problème. Ok? But, ou ka pas moyen, and then, ou garde sur YouTube, and of course, ou apprend tab ben. Ok? Hier, on moun dit ça, and then, m'pas fâché, moun n'a pas se m'te fâché, parce que, m'just dit, bro, sou pense que, m'just fait vidéo, c'est pour attirer moun seulement, et puis, voilà, ou pas qu'à trade, just move on, man. Quitte le marché, passer l'âge pour me prouver, si c'est là, c'est l'autre bord, prouver moun, m'ka fait ça, m'pa fait ça, passer l'âge ça, bro. Ou pensez, bah, YouTube yo pas assez, ok, just be it, bro, like, just keep going, just, quitte le comme ça, quitter le comme ça, et puis n'a avancer, you know, bah, comme si n'a expliqué, bah, non, moi, make sure que, ni moun qui garde sur YouTube seulement, yo passe challenge, and then you fait profit, and then you fait payout, just like moun qui n'a formation, just like moun qui gain paid members, yo, just like moun qui sous school, yo, just like moun qui na Team 7, yo. Alright? A student from Team 7 just got his first payout ever in trading after like on paquet formation and moun na fait $5,000 with we. And I'm gonna post it. I forgot to post it, you know. And ça c'est un débat qui fait que me content, man, because what I'm sharing is real. What I'm sharing is real. everywhere. It's everywhere, and it's everywhere. Everywhere the same vibe. Everywhere the same thing. So yeah, that's my goal because beaucoup tant de moun k'ap pedi l'argent et yo paye un moun nan désir ap trade pour yo. Yo te paye un moun et yo pa am tan de moun nan ko si chaque un an y a fait appel avec moun yo tan de moun nan ou bien moun nan resi paraît chaque temps gon formation pour le vendre. I'm tired of these things, bro. And I'm like, okay. Et comment mi chaque temps tan de gens débarrer ça comme ça me fait me prendre note. Okay? That's how you build a business. That's how you build a legacy. You know how others people gonna feel, and then you make sure that vous faites barrer ça. Depuis juillet 2024, dans ces formations, every week, every single week, nous avons correction, nous avons live, nous avons one-on-one, nous avons tout bagay net. Because tout côté, mon y a plein, bon, on fin payer mon information, on pas attendre encore. And I'm like, oh why? Whatever quantité comme ça m'a dit pour me faire entretien, I fait because I want to make sure that mon pas plein pour tout le monde dans ça. And tout cas fait formation. Si pas faire formation, I don't know, font l'autre bagay, you know, and it's like mené de yo, comprendre, regarder doit juste qu'on qui ça qui on bougie et puis lancer son formation. Alors que dès qu'on live là, nous dès qu'on a dit me faire formation, dès qu'on dit non, beaucoup ka fait ba ça. Pour qui ça? It's because I know if I'm gonna do it, it gotta be the best one. Okay? That's why m'te toujours pas jam faire. They just say, guys, I'm not ready yet. And the way I'm not ready for something, ça va pas dire pas ka faire, ça va dire pas travailler sur lui, but I'm not ready yet. Okay? So, nous toujours qu'on live là, et nous toujours qu'on a dit, coach, lancer formation, bien fait formation, est-ce que pas information, nous dit, no guys, no, pas information, just vin là, stream, et me fait stop loss, me fait tipi, ah oui, ça m'a la carrément, ah oui, ça m'a dormi, je regarde Barcelone, je regarde les Lakers, qui a bien passé semaine ça yo. Oh, canon Lakers, mes amis. Canon Lakers, non. So, yeah. And then nous me faire formation, and I'm like, you know what, m'bap fel. And then, I regarde the quantité moun k'ap plein, I'm like, bro, let's do it, bro. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then, of course, wal jen moun ki wal do, well, sou kon trade, pou ki so fè formation, sou kon trade, pou ki so fè moun paye, bro. Pi fò moun ki gen jan de discours sa ou se moun ki pov. Trust me. And them di pov la, ba oblige l'argent, non? Mentalement. Because, une fois que ou comprendre qui ça veut dire l'argent, ça veut dire que vous faire bagarre crazy pour l'argent. Mais une fois qu'on comprend qui ça veut dire l'argent, nous chaque fois qu'on dit l'argent, ça veut dire tout. Une fois qu'on comprend ça veut dire qu'il y a des discours nous pas gagner encore. Donc à chaque fois qu'on font un discours comme ça, premier réflexe c'est OK, ou juste partager nous qui genre de mindset qu'on gagne. Kounya, est-ce qu'on va juste venir sur YouTube dans la prendre gratis? Yes. C'est pour ça que tout masterclass ça yo. C'est pour ça que tout masterclass ça sur YouTube là. Ay 700 combien contenu m'gè là sur YouTube là. 700 contenu m'gè sur YouTube là. And moi c'est un moun tout avant que on moun entre dans formation ou bien on moun vle rentrer dans Libride Academy. I want to know your economic situation. Why? Because à quoi bon ou fin payer et vous tout sous stress? Comment on va l'apprendre là? Comment on va l'apprendre ou fin payer Libride Academy and then ou pas ka I don't know, ou pas ka payer une moto. Qui j'en va le chita pour apprendre là kounya. That's why gen nan nou ki kontakte, m di nou, alright guys, mais ça n'a fait. Fais ça, and then fais ça, et puis après on va retourner. Gardez-moi sur YouTube, bien, mes vidéos basic yo sur YouTube, I'll guide you, because you're not ready yet to be part of my community, but I still want to help you. That's why I have the YouTube. And m'ka okay, mais garde ça. Ok? Ces deux bails m'pa fait, c'est un, casser commune, because I don't need your money that much. And secondly, therapy on trader, yeah. Therapy on trader is good. Yeah, mbap kase community mbap bay moun menti, like vin nan trading, nan 3 mois, mbral fò profitable, nan 3, bro, all of that, they all like, tout le monde kap di nou sa ay menti ap ban. And then, pa confond, fè yon witre avec being profitable. Ka fè yon green witre, sa wale di profitable pou sa. Je fais premier witre dans première année dans trading, mais ça me déconne dans trading met là. Il va copy paste m't'a fait parce que me fait witre en rentable. Non, pas de connait rien men. Et m'pa jamais parler de witre ça. M'pa jamais parler de witre ça parce que moi même ça m't'a fait. Juste connait gon monsieur qui les Charles Williams qui est dans groupe. K'ap dit bail la celle là, déconne suivre lui. Mais est-ce que je peux parler de witre ça? À qui figi m'pa parler de witre ça? No. Well, when l'aime dit moun pendant 3 mois pas rentable non frère. On a dit oh, gon moun là sur internet là dit dans 3 mois pas rentable. Al joindre ni border, al joindre ni. Just go like well, you finally find someone that's going to make you money and help you make money in 3 months, 2 weeks. Just go, man. Just go. Même kon pou ki sori ta parler avec toujours men, je k'ap courir aller là. You know? There are some stuff I can't do naturally. And even nan pi go vole madame mwen gavem tout. Bon, pas parce que et pas comme c'est la dit casser tête moun, but madame mwen toujours dit like ou tant konti innocent men, like n'importe moun ka scam ou because always want to help, you always want to do this, you always want to do that, and sometimes m kon pare mes tête mon petit cash peut-être ça parce que le fait que m'étais dans scout et puis il y a quelques bails que m'apprendre tout men en pile fois toujours voulais mettre comme si toujours voulais mettre mon avant. That's why I'm always building something for people. That's who I am. And parfois dans la vie, et spécialement le dit la haïtien, faut que c'est difficile pour moi pour me faire, and I gotta be honest with you. But le dit la haïtien, parfois faut oublier partie humanité ça, man. Mais et comme ça mieux, pas changer là. Pas changer. Pas changer. OK. Capitalisme parlant, on si mot ça existait. On m'a contacté pour formation, pas besoin connaître s'il gagne l'argent, s'il pas gagne l'argent, s'il prend comme là mais là li. Ouais, c'est ça tout le monde fait. Moi m'pa faire ça. Pour ça m'pa faire ça. Parce que on connaît qui ça veut dire l'argent, on connaît qui ça veut dire dormir kay moun, on connaît qui ça veut dire dormir sur canapé, on connaît qui ça veut dire. On connaît un paquet de bagages l'argent fait me fait. I mean à cause de l'argent que me vive que m'pa vle moun vivre yo men. Pas parce que ou pas famille, ou pas ami, just pas vle vivre li. Because c'est des situations que tu connais que très bien qui te ka cause soit mourir ou bien pas là encore. Bon pour ça pour me vle moun vivre ba ça men. Comprends? That's why question qu'on ti cas privé but en pile femme qu'on demande hey, ou kon qui ça qui trading déjà? Si on dit nombre kon qui ça qui trading non, c'est ou que fait kon qui ça qui trading. Eh bien OK. Bon vidéo YouTube pour aller kon qui ça qui trading avant. You know? Ça on la jambe perdu men. Moun nan doit pas ni regarder vidéo sur YouTube là, moun nan doit pas jamais pour toute fois pour jusqu'à ce qu'elle mourir moun nan pas connaît encore qui ça trading là, il était vinn là pour tout payer, pas tout prendre comme là nan men, il tout pas contact trading nan tout buy Wagner, you know? It happens, but yon ba écrire les consciences men. Par contre, si nous réaliser que gon paquet trader, spécialement dans la communauté haïtienne, chaque jour cap dévoiler tête yo. Why? Because conscience yo a battu. Et les consciences yo a battu ou pas l'autre choix non men, qui just la gueule. J'aime bien là me dit guys, fait $400,000, me fait $500,000, me fait $600,000, presque millionnaire. Bro. Bah aucune raison pour me faire ça tout. Il me dit qu'on live là 5-7 moun. Est-ce qu'il me get 120 moun qu'on y a m'a bail menti ça au fond paquet créer un paquet illusion juste pour marketing ou bien juste pour faire non, puis devant qu'on cherche pas le calo. Ou bien qu'on y a un paquet l'argent, on va pas vivre en paix. Il me ba négocier PM pour rien. OK. On va négocier PM pour rien. Je pas un good la monter cabane nan coucher me dormir. Et c'est un problème que me pas rien. Ça me souvent dit ça tout. Me souvent dit la madame ça. Raison c'est parce que me pas fait rien. Pas essayer faire rien un jour comme si qui pour troubler PM. Troubler conscience mais. Because me son nèg là, n'importe te mettre gain bruit là, DJ, Shade yo, ouais depuis dormir nan j'aime faire m'a dormi. Pas gain pour empêcher me dormir. Ba me coucher sur cabane après réfléchir. Bon, depuis les dormir me dormir. Because I always try to doing things the right way. Kounya, est-ce que c'est mon temps qu'on nous nan vie qui rive rapide non? Même pas besoin de rive rapide tout. Pas jamais dit besoin de rive rapide. Ah, ils a fait moun qui besoin de rive rapide, là ils a fait garder moi même. Peut-être si m't'a fait quelque bail moun a fait de yo. Comme ça me Dubaï. Mais en même temps tout. Dès que tu pas regarder petit frère nan nage. You know? On va pas regarder des séries de moun nage, parce qu'on est très bien que consciemment on fait des séries de bails qui pas bon. But c'est la good mode man. En café. C'est la good mode man. Like tout le monde a fait formation and then tout le monde a scamé moun, tout le monde a pris l'argent dans moun, tout le monde a bail moun coup, tout le monde a regardé qui est-ce qui a fait plus l'autre pi gros coup, tout le monde a comparaison, tout le monde a dit, tout le monde a that. Bro. I don't have time for that. Et ça fait nous tag moi, pas prendre le mauvais non, but gapil nous qui tag moi dans post des séries de l'autre trader. And par exemple, goun qui tag moi hier dans vidéo un trader qui dit voilà et on moun cap trade et puis voilà, le pas ka font screenshot monter live à 40 li, il pas faire sérieux. Nous tag moi à moi vidéo but ça m'a répondre. M'passer l'âge bagay ça. Mais vous pouvez mon non men. Ou quoi pas quoi ça fait gado. Ça me fait beau pas quoi. Ou ka contrôler action, ou ka contrôler pensée, ou pas contrôler pensée l'autre monde. Mettre 10 ça me vle là sur channel YouTube là. Un monde qui choisit pas quoi m'pa quoi. Mettre 10 ça me vle, mettre et c'est jeu ça qui vient sur réseau yo et c'est dans piège ça moi un paquet trader qui en quelque sorte bon trader prend et puis qui vient mettre dans des séries de bails tête chargée non forcer prouver dire ah bon vrai trader vous pas prouver x pas prouver y kounya automatiquement entrer dans prouver ya ou entrer dans labyrinthe qui pas rien sorti ou entrer dans course qui pas fini parce que moun sur réseau continuellement pour prouver. Et plus on continue prouver, plus ça demande plus pour prouver, plus on continue prouver, plus ça demande plus pour prouver, ou pas jamais satisfait. Et à chaque fois prouver on bagaille, c'était toi fouiller plus dans fond. And then c'est plus soit réjouir parce que c'est ça au besoin même. Parce que l'objectif c'est faut perdre tête tout. Là comme ça, nous aller chercher des trois livres là nous lire et puis nous poser une tête frette. Et puis ça que voulait goumer, ça que voulait prouver, à le prouver nous. Preuve moi ouais, c'est long étudiant et comme me dit coach, même fait $5,000 là. Preuve pas maintenant, c'est Anne Vadli qui est en Haïti, un trader en Haïti qui est rentable. OK, et tout le monde ça a fait vidéo yo etc. C'est même communauté ça. OK. Yo pas ba résultat, étudiant vinn côté, mais yo vinn ba résultat. Mais pour y c'est moi m'bal nan prouver c'est là fait l'autre bon nope. Nous pas trouver ça funny. Moun qui moins pas essayer prouver sur réseau yo bien moins ça essayer montrer pile bagay ou bien cap fait jolé. Et puis c'est lui même qui plus résultat pour le poster. Bon, tellement il y a résultat ou poster un résultat. Jusqu'à un résultat jusqu'à maintenant pas pour oublier poster. That's funny. That's funny, bro. That's funny. Yeah. Tout le monde saura qui sur réseau a cap prouver, cap forcer prouver, and then c'est même élève yo cap vinn information cap dire ah après l'autre bois non. Mais là me vini là moi s'imagine un bagay et puis 2-3 semaines moun nan passer challenge, 2-3 semaines moun nan fait payout. That's what I want. Somebody asked me to do an analysis on Euro USD. You know what? Let me just do it. Ça va faire barrer Peter Brightly Joseph encore. I'm just fell. Well, it's been a while since I don't watch. Oh no. Ou kan pa I've got Forex pendant jour là. On ligne là, oui, ça ligne ça veut dire. Yes. Yep, dernier jour là, oui, m't'a regardé un bagay et puis t'es ennuyé, oui, et puis m'vin dans DXY, m'vin dans GBP USD, m'vin dans Euro USD, m'garder quelques bagay. And mal dans crypto, pas songer, but yeah. Let's try to read this market real quick. Let's go on the weekly right now. Let's start in the weekly. Well, I don't trade these assets that much, you know. And let's just do it, man. What movie? So, all right, first thing I see right now, it's this imbalance we have on the weekly. We just reacted from it, and then we had a manipulation. Okay, the market manipulated this high right there. Oh, this is something I want you to study too, because this is not something I've learned, and this is not something nobody taught me, but I've realized that. Okay, when the market is manipulating a high or lows, most of the time after the manipulation, the market create a retest at the high before moving to the downside. Okay, let me go to the indices real quick. Let me try to find some examples for you guys you can understand. Qui a manipulation again? Chercher qui a manipulation again, like the nice. Well, so not nothing on manipulation, but it's not the best manipulation, as I said the other day. All right, well, that's not a great example we can take. Okay, all right, on autre example, par exemple. Okay, so the market moved to the upside, and then we manipulate these highs, and after the manipulation, or after the candle that telling you, all right, we're probably gonna have a manipulation, the market usually come back to the high. It's something that I've been watching, okay, but I don't have anything to say about it. I have to get some datas, okay. So when the market create a manipulation at certain highs or certain lows, okay, if you're watching lower time frame, after the manipulation, the market might come back to the high we manipulated or to the low we manipulated. All right, so I've seen that. I don't remember where I've seen that. I don't remember where. C'est pas là. This is about Forex. We came very close to it now. What Forex? No, it just did well. nan indice d'habitude, alright. Oh, là encore va tourner. Well, I might be one. Maybe about 9 indice yo mte well. But go and set and dap gade. After the manipulation, the market came back like now how you manipulate. So now the first thing we can see, Shini, is the fact that we have this huge manipulation right there. Okay, so basically, if you're trading USD, the first thing you have to do is to analyze the DXY. Okay, but since you asked me to analyze the USD, I'm just gonna analyze the USD. So now we have this huge manipulation right here. Okay, that's my most recent manipulation in higher time frame. Okay, the previous one we can say was this one from this low right here, this reaction. We can say that was the recent manipulation, and then we just move to the downside, to the upside. So we can consider this as potential accumulation. Okay, we have these lows, and then we reacted inside of this imbalance. As you can see, just like the indices, we reacted inside of higher time frame imbalances. Okay, we have this manipulation inside of this imbalance on the weekly, and you can see how price reacted inside of this imbalance on weekly, and even the continuation higher. Okay, even the continuation to go to the upside, we react from this imbalance, and we are still on the weekly right here. Even there, we are still on the weekly, and the market moved to the upside right there. Okay, so now it's like we have a contraction. I mean, a higher time frame. It's the same thing, but we're gonna start in the higher time frame first, right? It's like we have a contraction, the market drop down and create an accumulation right here, and we have a first expansion, we have a small retracement, we have a second expansion, we have a small retracement, and then we creating another contraction. Okay, we're creating another contraction, then a manipulation right there, then to drop lower. So now your most recent manipulation that create expansion is this manipulation, which means we know that we're gonna be more bearish than bullish. Okay, we're gonna be more bearish than bullish. All right, so that's the first thing we know. So now we can see after this manipulation, the market create that on the way imbalance. Okay, what is the on the way imbalance? Is basically the imbalance we created after the manipulation. Okay, so now in higher time frame, what I would like to see is something like this. Okay, because if price really want to hold this manipulation, we want to see price keep dropping lower like that. Okay, but at the same time, we don't really have any retracement yet. Okay, if we're paying attention from these lows to these highs, all right, well, that was the first expansion. We can say that was the first expansion. That was the first expansion before this retracement. We never like create a deep retracement, which means the market can still come back to this area. And even though if you consider this entire expansion, that's not going to be a problem. You're going to have the 50% right here. And this entire expansion might be considered as the weekly range. And then that's going to be the premium. And then that's going to be the discount. So right now we have an idea on higher time frame. So now let's drop to the lower time frame to see what's going to happen. So first thing first, we have these highs right there. So now we drop to the downside. We'll drop to the lower time frame to see what's going on. Okay. So now in lower time frame, as you can see, inside of this daily imbalance, we have this gap, and then we also have this we have imbalances and gap at the same time. You know, we have imbalance and gap at the same time. But right now, the market is currently inside of this imbalance on the daily. Okay, so now let's try to read what the market is telling us. So now we had a manipulation, we drop down, we retrace, we keep dropping lower, and now the market is in a bearish cycle. Okay, in order for me to consider the market being in a bullish cycle, just like in indices, the market will need to invert this imbalance on the weekly. Okay, so in order to say, okay, we might be bullish for a long term on Euro USD, and the market might need to invert this imbalance on the weekly, and we're probably gonna consider this as manipulation. Okay, but I don't see that happen. I don't see that happen, to be honest. It might be the case, but I don't see that happen right now. To say, okay, that was just a manipulation and then to just move to the upside, I don't see that. Right now, my main priority will be see if price will respect this imbalance to drop lower, okay? Or see if we can move to the upside inside of this imbalance to drop lower. So now, of course, you're gonna have to analyze the daily context to see what's going on in this imbalance, to see whether or not this imbalance will hold market and keep dropping lower. So now that's when we go to the downside right here. As you can see right there, we have the manipulation at this low. Okay, we have this huge huge manipulation right there. Okay, and then of course it looks like the beginning of a cycle, and that might be the cycle that will bring the market to the imbalance on the weekly. Okay, so that's an imbalance. That's a manipulation right here, and that's I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Well, we drop down below this low, this high again, but I don't really like this reaction. Let me try to read it. Let me try to zoom out a little bit. We got this manipulation right here before we have this movement to the downside. Okay, beginning of the cycle, we drop down, another distribution, another distribution, another distribution, and right there, did we have a divergence right here? Do we have a divergence right here? That was on March 16. Let me check the DXY. March 16. We didn't take these highs. Let me check GBP USD. March 16. No, we don't have a divergence right here. So we probably reacted from a higher time frame. Oh, we were below this low, actually. All right. I don't like this reaction to sell. Okay. I don't like this reaction to sell. Even though we are reacting from this imbalance on the higher time frame, on the daily, we can say, but I don't really like this movement. So I will probably wait to see how price will behave at the 50% of the previous daily range, which is right there. Okay, to see where we are exactly at the 50%, to see if price can hold, that manipulation. Okay, if price can hold that manipulation, and whether like create a manipulation at the 50% or at the discount range. Okay, and then to go higher. Okay, so now do we have liquidity? Yes, we have liquidity in the daily, but I was talking about the weekly imbalance we have up there. We have it. Really have it. Check real quick. So yeah, we have some nice targets right there, bro. So that's a nice target. That's a nice target. 1.15800. That's a nice target. I will probably wait to see how price will react right here. Especially this imbalance on M15, to see if price will respect the 50% of the previous daily range to keep going higher. Okay, so I will probably wait to see if price can create that inversion to move to the upside and take this target. That's what I will want to see in the day. And of course, that will just continue with the bullish cycle. Okay, and the bullish cycle to go where exactly? To inside of this imbalance on the weekly, but we don't really have a target. I have to go to the lower time frame. But for people in my Discord, okay, from my mentorship, you can see how price just build, start the cycle right here, and then we just keep dropping lower. But this high stayed open, we drop lower. This high stayed open, we drop lower. This high stayed open until the market, I don't really like that as manipulation, but until the market finally like create this movement to the upside and we come back. We don't have a manipulation here. I have to recheck. We don't really have a manipulation there, but as you can see, we create that bullish movement and then we come back to the 50% this day, move to the upside. The next day we manipulate this previous daily low, all right, and then we manipulate this previous daily low, and that looks like the beginning of a new cycle. So we're probably gonna take these highs, but I will wait for the market to invert this imbalance on M15. We're just gonna put an alert right here. So that's what I see. That's what I see. Shiny. I don't know how to say it. That's what I see right now. Okay, I will probably pay attention now. The fact that we are reacting of the 50% of the previous daily range, I will pay attention to the 15 minutes imbalance to see if we can create that inversion and go take that target. Okay, and even if we drop lower, I will pay attention to the discount, because right now the market does not show sign of a bearish cycle so far, even though we are reacting from this imbalance. Yes, when you're looking at it on higher time frame, it looks like, well, we're gonna hold this imbalance to keep dropping lower. That's what I thought in higher time frame, but now in lower time frame, it's a different story. In order for me to consider that as manipulation, basically we're gonna have to break that low. We're gonna have to break that low. Oh, there it is. Should be quick. There it is. Check real quick. Is the hourly open? Kind of like the way we reacted of this M15 inversion. I remember we had a 1 hour imbalance. I'm gonna wait for 1 hour. I'm gonna wait for 1 hour to create a nice candle. Okay, which means if we can close above this candle and create a nice candle, that will be better. It's Friday. I'm not gonna force anything. Okay, so let's back to the Euro USD to see what's going on right there. So, well, hopefully you understand. You understood everything. Shiny. Okay, right now I see price reacting of this imbalance on H4. I even skip H4 during, I was doing the analysis, but I skip H4, and it's very important to watch H4 when I'm doing my analysis. But like I said, I'm not perfect. Never said I was. Bon, Anthony Nova is sérieux. All right, we are still inside of our potential buy area, but this is not what you want to see, man. This is not what you want to see as manipulation. And that's why I didn't like what happened here. Because manipulation should happen like very quick. It's manipulation, right? previous daily range, Lina Discord line. Discord line. All right. So it's almost 11:30, guys. That will be it for today. It was a pleasure to be here with you. Don't forget about the giveaway. So see you on Monday for the market breakdown on my French channel and the New York Stock Exchange session in this channel. The market doesn't look bullish right now. Okay. Well, we are still inside of our potential buy area, but there is no reaction. All right. See you on Monday.